Arsenal won their penultimate home game of the season 3-0 against Bournemouth to firmly stay in the title race. Now, there's definitely a lot of weird decisions in this game and there's definitely a lot to talk about, so let's get into what happened and my overall reactions. Now, straight away, the first thing and the only thing that mattered from this game is that Arsenal got the win to continue their form up and put pressure on Manchester City, who have a lot of games coming up now. With only 2 games left, the most we can do is win our games, and we did that today, despite it almost being a banana skin and Bournemouth definitely being better than I think the chances and stats show. Now, first of all, it is the big elephant in the room, so I will speak about it. The refereeing performance on this day and the VAR I thought was especially poor. Everyone is going to say that Arsenal cheated or we've been lucky, despite us only really getting a couple of VAR decisions in the last 2 games, and I don't think the ones against Tottenham were that deep, because everyone seems to forget about the Gabriel, the Brentford from last year, the Manchester United, all the other chances that we've got where we've been screwed over by VAR. Now, straight away, it didn't start very well, because 10 minutes into the game, Christie has his leg incredibly high and kicks Saka, which they didn't even VAR, they didn't give any cards for, which was clearly a foul and probably a red card. If that gets given, the game gets changed completely. Then going later on the game, you can look at our penalty for our first goal. Havertz does leave a leg in, and when Saka did that against Bayern, it obviously didn't get given. But what is the ruling in that situation? Because all it says is if there's contact, you have to give a penalty if there's significant contact. And with the goalkeeper originally missing the ball or Havertz goes past him, then what do you do in that situation? I don't know where the rule book comes into play there, and I feel like the ref are just giving it or not giving it each time. Obviously, at this given moment, we got the penalty, and I'll take that, and we definitely needed it in the situation. But realistically, Havertz surely could have just scored from that chance anyway. And I will say, I do think it evened itself out, because I think Bournemouth's goal definitely should have been given. I don't think there's enough contact on Raya realistically, and a lot of teams have been getting away with these contacts on goalkeepers that they've now been a lot more stronger with, which is fair. The goalkeepers are less protected, which I personally think they should be. So it just seems very inconsistent that they wouldn't give this to Bournemouth, considering all the stuff that's happened this season. So I think that's bad refereeing at the end of the day. Now that that is done with, this game was a typical Arsenal game, I felt like, where they dominated early and a lot, and Bournemouth honestly let them have a lot of chances, but Arsenal just couldn't take their chances and were not clinical enough. It's a typical game where it goes longer and longer, and Arsenal get more nervous and more rash in their decisions, and then teams come back into the game. Luckily, we managed to capitulate on a mistake or brilliant chances to actually score a second, and obviously because Bournemouth got their goal disallowed, the game fizzled out with us scoring a third later on. And when the team is really struggling to do this, this is when you need players to step up, and today we definitely got it by some of the key players. And Declan Rice, I thought, I mean, everyone knows it, he was definitely the best player on the pitch. He was exceptional yet again today, and he really was dominant. This is why we bought him. He was running everywhere. The runs that he was doing in the last 20 to 30 minutes of the game were crazy. Everyone else is a bit tired, you know, worn out legs. Rice is running up the pitch like a madman, getting the ball and creating chances, and end up getting a goal and assist later on. And I know Declan Rice is probably a better 6, but in this 8 role, he is exceptional. He is genuinely such a good player that he can do these roles so easily, and his defensive and attacking work in this game is exceptional. Defensively, he did 7 recoveries, 4 defensive actions, 2 interceptions, which is brilliant work. He always was running back, making sure we get the ball, despite Bournemouth obviously for the first 60 to 70 minutes didn't even really have many efforts at the goal until they kept having loads. And going forward, he was brilliant as well. 3 out of 5 accurate long balls, 2 out of 3 successful dribbles, 8 passes into the final third, 7 touches in the opposition box because he kept running in there, especially late on, and in the end he created 3 chances in the game. And definitely the most impressive part about this was the fact he was so proactive and basically went out of the tactics that was used to go and make and create chances that were important. The second goal is just because he sees the opportunity and runs past the players to get there. The ball bounces to him, and he's so quick on his feet to quickly shift the ball out to Trossard, who can calmly finish in the net. And to me, that's all about Declan Rice's movement and empowerment just to get the ball in there. And his third goal, the last minute, the game's basically over, we've already won it. He's a midfielder. The fact he is running in there late and getting to the ball and making sure that he makes them runs in the middle so Jesus can pick him out and putting it in is brilliant play. Declan Rice was exceptional this game and really helped us through it. And other players I thought had a quite a good game. I think Havertz was pretty good. Of course, he didn't really get a goal and assist, but it's not always about that. He was very good defensively. He won 3 out of his 4 tackles, 7 defensive actions and 5 recoveries, while winning 12 duels as well, which is very impressive. 8 out of 9 ground duels won. And I think his hold-up play has improved so much. He's helping players get into the game more. He is not that clinical striker. He still misses big chances, But I think in this game, again, 2 chances created, and he was trying some special, really good passes that weren't necessarily always planning out. I rate the encouragement from Havertz, and he definitely has to be playing consistently. And I do think the football that Arsenal played overall is really good. We shouldn't look past that. They got an XG of over 4, and okay, if you take the penalty out, it's 3.5, which is still so much. Of course, Bournemouth didn't really have many chances, 0.42, and they still nearly scored a few goals. I think you've got to look at Raya in some situations. I think Raya is a brilliant goalkeeper, and he helps us much more composed, but he is still got mistakes in him. I don't think he's necessarily the finished product just yet, and there's definitely chances he can make mistakes. And now he's just got the golden boot in the Premier League season, getting 15 clean sheets. I think you have to credit that to the defenders a little bit more than Raya, because he did do 1 or 2 good saves in this game, but overall he is making more mistakes that lead us to goals conceded rather than making exceptional saves that are helping us. Of course, his catching from corners and set pieces is obviously a lot important, but that is not necessarily going to come up in them stats. It was good to see Saka and Trossard both get on the score sheet. I think Saka was pretty good in this game. He was very good on his side. You know what Bournemouth were going to do. They sat deep and it was hard to get past them sometimes, but he did as best as he could, and in the end put the penalty away, which was a very pressure penalty at the time, so he's got a lot of composure there, which I respect. And Trossard, I don't think, had the overall best game, and I think we've all said it before, he's not elite at a lot of things like ball carrying or on the ball or any of that. He is elite at scoring, one of the best finishers in the team. You give him one chance, he will take it, and he did today yet again when we needed it, and that is sometimes so vital, and that's the reason why he's in the team over Martinelli right now. And quickly, I do want to give shout outs to people like Odegaard and Saliba, because I thought they were very good on the day. I think Odegaard struggled sometimes, but I think overall he was the main creator in there like he usually is, and still did very much. We created a lot of chances this game, so he deserves credit in that metric, and I thought he was very good on the ball. Saliba was also very good defensively, stood up when we needed it to. Yet another clean sheet for the defence. And that is another one down for Arsenal. 2 more games to play, obviously Old Trafford and then at home to Everton. 2 more weeks. If we win our games, who knows what can happen, but I've always said that we should always be positive and look at ourselves first. Man City play later, probably kick off around the same time this video is actually going to come out, so we'll see what the result is there, but I don't have that many high hopes of Wolves, and I think other teams might pose a bit more of a problem for Manchester City in the future. Now, people are going to complain about PGMOL, and people are going to complain about all this stupid stuff when we've been complaining about it all season but no one's cared. People were quick to dismiss us with our club statements when stuff happened in Newcastle, but now because it went for Arsenal, everyone's going to be talking about how bad it is. But that's just how the things are. You know, everyone hates us. We just got to kind of take it on the head and not get angry enough, because it's stupid anyway. We know how good we are. We know when we've been screwed over. Okay, we got a little bit lucky today, but we had an XG of over 4 and we're still 2-0 up when their goal happened. Okay, you can maybe complain about the penalty, but I think there was goals coming from other ways considering the red card that they should have got 10 minutes in. But that's enough for what I've got to say. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this game, and let's move on and hopefully take it for another win. We take it at the end of the day. It was a lot more comfortable than last year when we played Bournemouth at home. Obviously not completely comfortable, but Bournemouth do have great attacking threats and have been very good this season, especially recently. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and go and watch my video I did earlier where I talked about Bruno Guimaraes joining Arsenal potentially and why he would fit in the squad. But let's go, we take the win. See you in the next one.